Have you ever seen someone care so deeply that you could feel it through a screen? Tonight on News, we are not talking about a scandal, a controversy, or a rumor. We are talking about quiet loyalty. About the kind of care that doesn't shout, doesn't show off, but simply stays. Because while the cameras have been focused on red carpets and ratings, something much more tender has reportedly been happening behind the scenes. Liu Wu gently, patiently, standing by Zhao Lusi's side day and night. Is this just friendship? Is it devotion? Or is it something that goes beyond labels? Stay with us, because this story may just warm your heart more than any drama they've ever starred in. According to various reports and comments from people close to the situation, Zhao Lusi recently faced a period of health-related challenges. The details have been kept private, and rightly so, but what we do know is this: she needed time, rest, and a safe space away from the noise. In a world where schedules are packed, contracts are tight, and every moment seems to belong to a camera, there was one question quietly hanging in the air. When an actress steps back to look after her health, who steps forward to look after her? That is where Liu Wu enters this story. Insiders suggest that Liu did not treat this as a distant update you send a polite message about. Instead, he reportedly rearranged his own life, checking in, showing up, and creating a calm circle around Zhao Lusi where she could simply breathe. For many viewers, it feels like the script of a healing drama. Except this time, it is not written by a screenwriter. It is written by small, consistent choices. What does taking care of someone day and night really look like in real life? Sources close to the pair say it is less about grand gestures and more about the steady rhythm of everyday kindness. There are stories of Liu helping to coordinate her daily routine so she can rest properly without feeling guilty, encouraging her to eat regular, balanced meals, sometimes reportedly bringing her simple, comforting food she likes, sitting with her during quiet evenings, not to talk about work, but to talk about ordinary things, books, music, silly memories from set, anything that makes her smile. At times, it is said he even stayed overnight, simply to be sure that if she needed anything, she would not have to face it alone. No stage lights. No microphones. Just a young woman healing, and a young man choosing to be there. What makes this story resonate so strongly is not just that Liu is present, but how he is present. People familiar with the situation describe a series of small, thoughtful gestures that show how closely he pays attention. He reportedly created a comfort playlist for her, a mix of soft songs, some from their own projects and some from artists they both like, so that even when he cannot be in the room, his support still plays in the background. On particularly difficult days, he is said to send short voice notes rather than long calls, not to overwhelm her, but simply to say, "I'm here. Rest first. Everything else can wait." There are whispers that he put together a smile box for her, a small collection of things that hold happy memories. A photo from a behind-the-scenes moment, a tiny souvenir from a filming location, a handwritten line from a script that made them laugh. Tiny reminders that her life is not defined by one difficult season. And perhaps most touching of all, some reports suggest he has been gently encouraging her to draw boundaries, turning down unnecessary engagements, ensuring that her team prioritizes her well-being over appearances. It is an unusual kind of care in an industry that often expects people to push through everything. Liu's attitude seems to say, "You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be human first, and a celebrity second." Around the world, the bond between Liu Wu and Zhao Lusi has quietly grown into something much larger than a simple celebrity update. For many viewers, especially those who have followed their journey from co-stars to trusted companions, the story of Liu's gentle care has become a symbol of what they secretly hope for in their own lives. Not grand declarations, but someone who simply stays. On social media, the name Liu Wu is no longer just a playful couple label. It has evolved into a kind of emotional shorthand. When fans write about them, they are not only talking about two famous faces from a drama. They are talking about encouragement, reassurance, and the quiet strength that comes from being supported when you are at your most vulnerable. In countless posts and comments, people describe how moved they feel knowing that, according to reports, Liu chose to stand beside Zhao Lusi at a time when she was not at her brightest or strongest. Some fans say that this is the kind of care you cannot fake. It shows in the small, unremarkable moments when there is no camera, no press, and no audience to impress. Others share their own experiences of illness, burnout, or emotional exhaustion, explaining that seeing a public figure being allowed to rest, and being gently protected while doing so, makes them feel less alone. It becomes more than entertainment. It becomes a quiet form of comfort. What is particularly striking is the tone of the fan response. Instead of demanding answers or labels, many people simply express gratitude that Zhao Lusi appears to have someone trustworthy by her side. They create edits not just of romantic scenes, but of her laughter in behind-the-scenes clips, pairing them with messages hoping that she finds the same joy again in real life. They praise Leo not as a perfect hero, but as someone who, at least from the outside, seems to understand that real support does not always need a spotlight. In this way, Luwu shifts from being just a pairing to being a reminder that care can be soft, that love can be expressed through protection and patience, and that in a world obsessed with noise and speed, the most powerful gesture may still be the decision to simply remain close and quietly hold space for another person's healing. What makes this story resonate so deeply is that it does not depend on whether Leo Wu and Zhao Lusi are officially together. It touches people because it quietly shows a different way of caring, one that does not need a label to be meaningful. In an industry often driven by visibility, attention, and constant performance, the reports of Leo's calm, steady presence around Zhao Lusi feel almost radical. He is not portrayed as sweeping in with dramatic gestures or using her difficult moment to shape a narrative about himself. Instead, he appears to be doing something much harder, listening, observing, and adjusting his behavior so that she feels safe rather than overwhelmed. It is a form of care that prioritizes the other person's pace, not the audience's curiosity. There is a subtle lesson in that. Real support is rarely about making yourself look good. It is about noticing what the other person truly needs, even when that need is as simple as silence, rest, or the freedom to say no without guilt. By respecting Zhao Lusi's privacy and allowing her health to come before publicity, Leo's actions suggest a belief that a human being is worth more than any project, rating, or headline. For viewers who are used to seeing relationships reduced to gossip and speculation, this sends a very different message. It says that you can care for someone without turning their pain into a spectacle. In that sense, their story becomes a quiet reminder to everyone watching. You do not have to heal someone's life to make a difference. You do not have to have the right words all the time. Sometimes the most powerful expression of love or friendship is simply to show up consistently, to stand beside someone while they find their own strength again, and to accept that the most important parts of that journey may never be visible to the rest of the world. As for what happens next, reports suggest that Zhao Lusi is gradually recovering, taking careful steps back towards work at her own pace. Leo, meanwhile, appears determined to keep one message clear: health first, career later, person first, public image later. Whatever their relationship truly is behind closed doors, one thing feels certain to many fans. This chapter will stay in people's memories not as a headline, but as a testimony of quiet devotion. And when Zhao Lusi eventually returns fully to the screen, many viewers will not only be excited for her next role, they will simply be happy to see her healthy, smiling, and shining again.